Bibliostat Connect, Shaping Your Library's Message with Data, the Library of Virginia. Outcomes. This tutorial focuses on how to connect with Bibliostat Connect. There is background information on the Library of Virginia's use of Bibliostat Collect and Connect. There is an overview of Connect using Virginia data. Advantages and disadvantages of using Connect are discussed. Finally, please remember that hands-on is a good thing. The best way to learn how to use Connect is to get in and play with it. You cannot do harm to data in the Connect database by doing so. Connecting to Connect. To obtain login information for Connect, your library's director should send an email request to nelson.worley@lva.virginia.gov or kim.armentrout@lva.virginia.gov. Please note that logins and passwords for Bibliostat Connect are different than those in the companion application Bibliostat Collect. Bibliostat Collect and Connect. Bibliostat Collect and Connect were originally developed as a byproduct of the CiRCE Integrated Library System. Bibliostat is now developed and distributed by Baker & Taylor, a Follett company. Bibliostat Collect is the data gathering application. Bibliostat Connect is used for data analysis. Soon, both applications will be available under the Collect Connect application. The Library of Virginia began using Collect more than 20 years ago as a replacement for its homegrown DITAR, Data Input and Tracking Resource, which did not work well in a networked environment. Initially, LVA made both Collect and Connect available to Virginia public libraries. Cost and lack of use of Connect prompted cancellation in the mid-2000s. It is our hope that usage during this trial will demonstrate greater use of Connect. What is Connect? Bibliostat Connect is a powerful, easy-to-use online statistical tool for creating tables and graphs comparing libraries in Virginia and throughout the country. Benefits of Connect. By using Connect, the library can show the community their return on investment in the library, organize numbers into meaningful, easy-to-read tables and graphs, help in detecting strengths and weaknesses of the library, and discover trends by analyzing library statistics. Audience. Potential audiences for Connect include in-house use, the library board, local, county, and state officials, grant funders, library patrons, community agencies and organizations, and the media. Bibliostat Connect User's Guide. This tutorial presents an overview of Bibliostat Connect, focusing mostly on using alphabetical selection of library data from the Virginia Bibliostat data source. For more complete information on using Bibliostat Connect and other data resources, refer to the Bibliostat Connect User's Guide in the LDND Info Center. To access the Bibliostat Connect application, go to http://collectconnect.baker-taylor.com. This is the Connect login screen. Each library has a username and password. Username and passwords are case sensitive. The setup screen allows you to choose which data you would like to use and what library you would like to use as the basis for comparison. You can only use one source of data at a time in Bibliostat Connect. To select the data source, use the pull-down box of this section to choose your source of data. There are several databases listed in the pull-down box. For this example, the Virginia Bibliostat data is selected. The state pull-down box is there to help narrow your choice of libraries in certain national data sources, such as the Public Library Survey, PLS. For this example, the Virginia Bibliostat data is selected. The comparison library, what is referred to as the Me library, is the library of comparison. In this example, the selected library for comparison is the Williamsburg Regional Library. Using the Bibliostat Virginia database, choose Other Libraries by clicking Select Alphabetically. To select other libraries for comparison, click on the library name in the alphabetical list of Virginia libraries. Hold the Control key and left mouse click for each library. Then click on Accept highlighted libraries. Select Libraries. This is the list of the selected libraries for comparison. Select Data Elements. With the comparison libraries selected, the next step is to choose the data elements for comparison. Here, available data elements, the selected data elements, and available years are shown. In the Available Data Elements box, click on checkboxes to toggle criteria on and off. Click on Plus to expand a folder with data elements. Click on Plus by percents and ratios to display more measurement options. Selected data elements will appear in the box in the upper right. After selecting data elements, select the years to be compared. Format. On the Format screen, select the type of output to present the data. Results. The Results screen displays the data in table format. If you return to the Format screen and select Graph, the graph will display on the Results screen. This example displays the data as a bar graph. When selecting Graph as the Format option, you have the option to choose the type of graph and add additional information on the graph. Here is the data displayed as a line graph. Returning to the Results screen, you have a third option for the data. You may also choose to export the data to an Excel file. With the data in Excel, you have the opportunity to work with the data as appropriate. The previous slides display multiple libraries, multiple years, and a single data element. This slide shows the selection of multiple data elements for 1 year for the same libraries. The results appear here in table format. The results in graph format. If multiples of libraries, data elements, and years are selected as indicated here, you will get this message. The Connect components are libraries, data elements, and years. You may only select multiple items in only 2 of the 3 components. Tips. In a table, it is usually better to group by libraries. In a graph, it is better to group by data element. Graphs and tables created in Connect may be copied in Excel, Word, and most other Windows programs. Percentages, ratios, and per capitas. A major advantage of using Connect is the capability of producing tables and charts showing percentages, ratios, and per capita information without having to manually enter formulas. There are 2 general categories of data elements in Connect: statistical and categorical. On the Select Data Elements screen, they appear as shown here with plus or minus to expand or contract as appropriate. The next 3 slides show the type of percentage, ratio, and per capita information available for the statistical data element holdings. To illustrate, we will use the same libraries previously selected. The selected data elements for FY 2017 are shown here. The table with the selected data is shown here. Please note, graphs of combined totals and per capitas do not go well together because of the wide range of numbers. In this graph, using the data from the previous table, per capitas do not display. This graph shows the per capita data. The data with totals has been removed. There are several advantages to using the data collected through Bibliostat Connect. The data is more recent compared to other sources, such as the Public Library Survey data. Currently, Connect contains data through FY 2017. The data now being collected for FY 2018 should be vetted and available by July or August 2019. Most of the data reported in the annual Bibliostat Connect report is accessible in Connect. As mentioned earlier, Connect makes it easier to work with percentages, ratios, and per capitas. The data for libraries in other states that use Bibliostat Connect may also be accessed. These states are listed on the data source screen. And data from libraries outside the United States that use Bibliostat is also available. Libraries in Australia and New Zealand are examples. Bibliostat data as a source. Likewise, there are some disadvantages to using Bibliostat data. Over time, some data element names and definitions change. For example, total circulation has evolved for just print items to print plus electronic, and is now evolving to total collection usage, which also includes electronic retrievals and library homepage usage. Libraries are also subject to change. New libraries are created. Libraries sometimes are closed. Libraries may merge, or they may divorce. Two recent Virginia examples. In FY 2015, the Southside Regional Library disbanded, creating the Mecklenburg County Library and the Lunenburg County Library. Data prior to FY 2015 is found under Southside Regional. More recent data is listed by county library name. In FY 2017, the Smith Bland Regional Library disbanded into two county libraries, Smith and Bland. Post-2017 data will be by county library name. Bibliostat data is only available for states that use Bibliostat Connect. Please note, there are other data sources available through Connect that do provide national data. For example, the Public Library Survey. Bibliostat data for states that used Connect in the past but are not currently doing so is incomplete or not up to date. North Carolina used Bibliostat until 2010 and then changed vendors. To access more recent North Carolina data, you will need to use another data source such as the PLS. Some queries are best accomplished by exporting the data to Excel and working with it as a spreadsheet, especially if you need to work with multiples in libraries, data elements, and fiscal years. And some of the data reported in the annual report is not available in Connect. 3 recent examples. What is the amount of funds carried over and placed in the library's reserve fund for the last 5 years? What fees do the libraries in my region charge for printing? What ILS systems are used by Virginia libraries? For access to data not available in Connect, please contact library development staff. User beware. Even vetted data may be suspect. There may be occasions when counting hasn't strictly adhered to the element's definition. Some of the data are based on estimates. Reasonable estimates are encouraged. Be on the lookout for anomalies among libraries. An example is using per capitas. The per capita number used in Bibliostat Connect is the population of the library's legal service area. This population is used in calculating the library's state aid for the reporting year. However, in some cases, the number of library users is greater than the LSA population. 3 examples. The LSA population of Bristol, Virginia is approximately 17K, but the library also serves Bristol, Tennessee, and Sullivan County, Tennessee, which has a population of more than 32K. The LSA population used in computing per capitas is actually 1/3 of the actual population using the library. Users of the Mary Riley Stiles Library in Falls Church in Northern Virginia include commuters, workers, and others who actually do not live in Falls Church and are not included in the LSA population. Parisburg in Southwest Virginia serves the residents of the town of Parisburg, its LSA population, but the library is also the de facto library for the population of Giles County. When working with per capita data, be aware of possible anomalies. The final slides have some helpful reminders.